Welcome back to a super special edition of Overexposed, where today I have a brand new product that you guys don't even know about, and that's Harman Phoenix 200 in 120 format. Over the past couple weeks, I've been taking this stuff out, been shooting it, trying to get some cool sample images, that way we could talk about them and see what we think about this new film, and are there any differences with 35mm. So let's get into it. So just a few weeks ago, a representative from Harman reached out to me and said, hey, Overexposed, Isaac, we got a new product that we're getting ready to bring to the market, and we would be happy if you would test out a few rolls, see what you think about it. So always interested in getting new free film. I said, hells yeah. And 7 rolls of Harman Phoenix showed up at my house. And like I said, over the past couple weeks, been taking it out and putting it to the test. So let's talk just a little bit about what Harman Phoenix 200 was to begin with. Well, obviously it's a 200 speed color negative film. The most interesting thing about it was that at the time, it was made by a completely new film manufacturer. Harman, affiliated, I guess, loosely with Ilford, but Harman, this was their first foray into manufacturing new color negative film. And as anybody who's followed my channel, or anybody who's been following the film photography resurgence more broadly would know, there are not very many folks out there making color film these days. So having a new manufacturer on board making new color negative film is really exciting. So with much hubbub, about a year ago, they released Harman Phoenix 200 onto the world to very much excitement. And since then, folks have been shooting this film, and I think the results that you see online, they've been largely pretty good. But one major critique that we saw online was with some of the colors. And with talking with the Harman representative, emailing back and forth, she was quick to point out that folks seem to think that with the new 120 format, some of those color inaccuracies seem to be mitigated. So I was excited to look at some of the images and see if that's really the case. Maybe it's such that sampling more data, having a larger negative size, you might end up with better color accuracy. I wasn't shooting ultra large negative sizes with Harman Phoenix 200. I was shooting it on my Mamiya M645. So I was shooting the smallest negative you can get in medium format, but that's still a much larger negative than 35mm. So let's take a look at some of the images. So there's a nature walk that I really enjoy in my hometown of Barberville. It's actually at my old elementary school, and at this point it's really grown up. They don't maintain it anymore. So taking images of this nature walk is something I love to do. It gives me a way to see the progress over the years. As the walkway kind of gets overtaken, the weeds overgrow it, and I guess it's going back into the earth. And you can see with this first image, it's got a lot of the characteristics we expect from Harman Phoenix 200 at this point. The reds are pretty saturated, a little bit orange, although maybe it's dialed back just a fuzz from what we were seeing in 35mm. And again, the greens are kind of almost that Fuji subdued, shifted to blue look. Not a really richly saturated, almost yellowish green. They're tinted towards the blue end of the spectrum just a little bit. You can see I took this shot looking down the walkway. I had my camera on a tripod, but I had the tripod pretty low. You can see a little bit of the foreground blurring there. All in all, an all right shot. And so this was a little bit different. So on this image, to test out what the film looked like slightly underexposed, I shot the film underexposed by a stop and a half, and you can see that drastically changes the color profile you get with the film. This is a very similar shot. It looks like I did have some leaves kind of falling into the frame here, but again, I've stopped down and you can see everything's quite a bit darker, and the colors are pretty significantly different. The greens lose that almost blue look, and they have kind of warmed up. In fact, the whole frame looks like it's been warmed up a little bit. So that's interesting to know that if you stop this film down a little bit, perhaps the colors get a little warmer and the color profile changes pretty significantly. And here's just a shot I took of a flowery weed that grows in the swamp. I think these things kind of look neat. Gives you an idea of the sharpness of the film. You can see I was focused right on these little petals. And these aren't the highest resolution scans of all time, but you can see there's plenty of sharpness in this film stock. And with the background blur, it gives you an idea of what the grain looks like as well. And I'm gonna zoom in for you guys so you can see what the film grain looks like there. But again, a really nice film stock. This wasn't overexposed, and you can see the almost bluish green color is back. And here's one of my favorite shots on the roll. I just moved up on the walkway just a little bit, and you can see those weeds are kind of spilling over the walkway. The earth's just, like I said, it's just taking the walkway back. Shooting just a normal exposure here, not underexposed, and the color profile is what we saw earlier. And here's a cool shot, and I like this shot. This is a college. This is actually my undergrad college in my hometown. It's Union College in Barberville, Kentucky. Really cool old college from the 1800s. This is a building called Centennial Hall. And again, shooting kind of low. I was shooting on my tripod, but still down pretty low, just shooting down the walkway towards the building. But I like this shot a lot. That's why I shoot it quite often. And here's another shot from my local college. I really love this swooping drive. It's the same building, but kind of off to the side. I love this swooping to left to right turn. Looks a little better with a wider lens, but again, really like the shot, and I think the colors are great here. And at this point, I'm in downtown Louisville. My wife and I took a trip to downtown Louisville just a couple weeks ago, just a little weekend getaway, and I shot some more Phoenix 200. And this is just a couple of buildings downtown. I thought it was a pretty nice framing. You guys can take a look at this. This gives you an idea of kind of what it looks like, a normal exposure looking at the sky. Not a really saturated blue, kind of a warm amber look. And here's a shot of a famous hotel in downtown Louisville. This is called the Galt House. The Galt House has certainly seen better days at this point, and this is slightly underexposed. Here's a shot of a riverboat I took in Louisville. Yeah, we still got these old steam-powered ships riding up and down the river, kind of a cool thing to do on a day. And you can see that characteristic orange look of the film very much present here as well. But I think it looks pretty nice, especially with summer, almost a Kodak Gold feel, but a little different. Here's this weird staircase setup. It kind of zigzags left to right going up the bank there. I don't know why they decided that they had to build it this way, but it looks pretty cool. And again, you can see the images are pretty warm. The blues are not very saturated, a very summery feeling film stock. Here's another one. Looking down 65, you can see the Louisville Cardinal basketball stadium there, and another bridge off in the distance. And again, the riverboat just down to the left. But everything is a little bit washed out there. Maybe I was slightly overexposed. You know, if I'm looking back at my images and I'm thinking where Harman Phoenix looks the best, I think a little cloud cover. It doesn't do extremely well in harsh, bright sunlight. If there's a little cloud cover, the dynamic range isn't so wide in the images. It seems like the film does quite a bit better. But all in all, Harman Phoenix 200, it is a really good option to have at medium format, and we're lucky to have something else that we're able to take out and shoot. So as I was talking to the Harman representative about all the different characteristics of the new medium format version of the film stock, they made it very clear that this again was a limited edition film and kind of a stepping stone, and that there would probably be more film stocks on the horizon. So I found that to be pretty encouraging. So it looks like we'll be getting more things in the future, but at least at this point, we're very lucky to have Harman Phoenix 200 in medium format, and I have really enjoyed shooting it and look forward to taking it out and shooting some more. And I think, circling back to what I said at the beginning of the video, I think you are probably getting just a little more color accuracy with the medium format variety of this film stock versus the 35mm film stock. The greater image negative size just yields to more data and better color accuracy. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about Harman Phoenix 200 color film. I'm really happy to be included in the hype bandwagon for getting this film off to the races. I would encourage you guys to hop on your favorite film photography supply website and snag a couple rolls of this stuff and give it a try. I'm sure they would appreciate the support and will ensure that in the future we get new cool products like this. And if you thought this video was cool, take a look at this video about other upcoming film stocks this year that I'm excited about. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.